What it do, everybody? It's your boy Dak908, aka the Dig Dug himself. You're truly back again with some more Monster Hunter Generations gameplay. Monster Hunters and Monster Honeys, rejoice! The game is out. Okay, like I don't know how many videos we are into this. We're quite a few videos into it, but we're still rejoicing in the fact that this game is out. Much better than 4 Ultimate, but similar to 4 Ultimate, we actually have a monster today who actually was also in 4 Ultimate. Didn't necessarily make his debut there. He debuted much earlier along the lines of Freedom Unite era, but the Gypceros, man, that's a tough monster to actually pronounce. Like I screw his name up like terribly all the time. Granted, though, he is a very, very interesting monster with a very, very interesting name. His main thing is the ability to actually blind you and anything around the area by hammering this weird mechanism on top of his head that triggers a flash. Also, on top of that, he has poison, and he is not afraid to use it, truth be told. But he is a bird wyvern, so much like most bird wyverns, whom of which like are kind of common early on, he has the ability of flight. So I recommend paintballing him as quick as you can, because when he does decide to leave the area, he will take to the sky, and nobody knows exactly where he'll actually end up. With that being said, let's move over to the main meat and potatoes of this guy right here. His weakness is, without a shadow of a doubt, fire. I mean, I'm using it right now. Right now I'm using the Untitled Greatsword, so that way I can actually do the additional damage that the fire would benefit me. So I totally recommend you guys doing the same thing. I mean, it's his number one, I mean, it's the big weakness, okay? So there's really no point using anything else. And like I said, I've been pleading with you guys to use those Untitled weapons, so hopefully by now you have one, so that way you can actually fight this guy relatively easily. Now, I totally will say this. His armor, I wouldn't even get it. Like, I honestly wouldn't even get it. It's not really all that, like, you know what I mean? I totally wouldn't get it. I mean, the skills on it, I can't even remember, but the skills for this guy were never even that good. If anything, it was always like a negate poison kind of thing, which isn't very, very useful. I mean, it's something that I would rather relegate to maybe a talisman, so that way you can use it on the fly. Because, I mean, another monster who actually has poison spits fire. I'm talking about the Raytheon. So if you wear this guy when fighting the Raytheon, you'll get hit with a fireball and you'll regret your whole decision. So, personally, like I said, I don't remember what the skills are for his armor, so that's very unprofessional of me, but they were never really all that good anyway. I mean, so don't even trip on it. But his weapons, though, his weapons are actually some very good poison weapons. I will recommend his poison weapons. There are many other poison weapons in the game, but if you're really trying to get a poison weapon like right now, and you can't wait for Raytheon, because Raytheon does have a couple of poison weapons herself, you can probably go with this guy. I mean, it's not too bad. I mean, they're not the greatest. They do have quite a bit of attack, but they also have lots and lots of poison. So if you're a fan of poison, huge fan of that kind of thing, totally run this guy. Not too big of a problem. His weapons aren't all that bad. But his attacks, now his attacks are a bit crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if you follow the Untitled, you'll see a couple of similarities in terms of their attacks, where he has a run it, like you have a charge, where the Untitled will charge and like spit fire on either side of his mouth. He would do the same thing, but this time with poison. He also likes to shoot poison streams. Okay, pay good attention to the word streams. He will shoot the poison. It'll look like a ball. It will shoot the poison, and then when it hits the ground, it'll actually extend out for a little bit of range. How much? Not too much, but just enough to where if you think you know, you're out of the way and you're in good hands, it might still catch you. Okay, so be wary for that, alright? Now, on top of that, and his attack where he can flash you, if you want to, you know, get the jump on the flash attack, pay close attention to the top of his head. The little hammer on the top of his head, once it starts, like, blinking, even though he's still doing his normal attacks, once it starts blinking, you should really be wary of, like, you know, when he's going to do the next attack. Now, it has to blink very quickly. Once it blinks very quickly, he will probably be prone to using the attack relatively soon, so take heed in that. Also, when he gets enraged, he becomes quite the handful, I will not lie. He really shows his bird wyvernness when he does, because he charges all over the place. He has an attack where he just uses his beak to repeatedly pound on your head, I mean, right there. And it's a pretty annoying move, especially if you're guarding it. You will lose all your stamina, like, very quickly if you block that move. Maybe even like even 150 stamina with Constitution, you'll probably lose it. It just takes a lot. So, with that being said, be very wary of his poison. Bring some antidote with you when it comes to the fight. and watch out for the little flash, okay? Other than that, he fights kind of reminiscent to that of a Yonkutku, so if you've pretty much mastered the Yonkutku, you should have not too much of a problem fighting this guy. So, with that being said, let's move over to, like, you know, the suggested weapons and suggested styles in which I say you should probably use when fighting him. Now, in terms of weapons, I don't necessarily recommend sword and shield. Excuse me, not sword and shield, dual blades. I would recommend sword and shield, being that you have the ability to block, so that way if you do find yourself in the midst of a poison stream, you can kind of block that. Anything with shield is kind of okay. Gun lance I wouldn't really recommend. Great sword I will, long sword as well. Charge blade on top of that. I mean, and gunners, of course. Gunners are viable in every situation, so if you're a gunner, you're always okay. But when it comes to hunting styles in which I suggest you should use, totally recommend adept and aerial. I mean hands down, because fighting this guy straight up without these two really big ways to actually either avoid his poison or just get the leg up on him even further, because he's an annoying monster. You want to kill him quickly. You want to use every trick and every tool you can to make sure he goes down fast. So adept for the mounts, aerial for the mounts, adept to completely bypass his flash, bypass his poison, things like that. So totally go for it. With that being said, everyone, it's been your boy Dead. Oh wait, I totally forgot. He is not dead. The Gypceros will feign death. Okay, when he feigns death, don't touch him. Okay, don't touch him. If you're close by to his body, when he decides to wake back up, that is his single most strongest attack. That flailing right there is an attack that will kill you. Okay, if you're like at 50% health, you will be dead. Trust me, that son hits. Okay, so if you ever see him do that, just know that you're very close to winning the fight. And that's pretty much all I have for you on this guy. But with that being said, everyone, it's been your boy Dak908, aka the Dig Dug himself. Hopefully you found this video helpful. And also on top of that, I pray that the desire sensor is forever in your favor. Take care, everyone.